A lot of people don't understand that I tried to write two other books before How Would Love Respond, right? And what happened is basically I was babbling on paper. I didn't know what I was doing, and I just wrote and wrote and wrote. And, one of those books, by the way, I wrote so long on it, it was actually 8 chapters long. The other book was 7 chapters long. So I put a lot of work into it. And by the way, if you see how fast I type, you realize that was a lot of time. But with both of those, I quit. I just didn't know what I was doing. But one day I woke up and I realized I don't want to die with my music still in me. How many people here still have some music in you, some goals, some dreams that you want to experience, that you want to achieve before the ride of life is over? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let me give you some strategy on this. Get at it right away. Don't let your dreams die one delay at a time, right? That procrastination, that putting those things off. By the way, one of my great favorite sayings that I've heard somewhere is either it's one day or it's today. But I will tell you that I have never opened up my appointment calendar. In the early days, I never opened up my appointment book and saw that, guess what? It's one day. It's always 2 day, right? So get on it right now. So I realized I still had this music in me. I wanted to become a number one best-selling author. And by the way, I want you to listen to that for a second. I didn't want to write a book. The experience I really wanted was to be an international number one best-selling author. And why is that so valuable? Well, because I know so many people that have written books and then they have a living room full or a garage full of all these books that they printed up and nobody's read them. And to be a bestseller, it means a lot of people are reading that book. So what's the point of putting all that work in if nobody's read it? You're not helping anybody by having a living room or a garage full of books. So I wanted to become a number one international best-selling author. And so I hired a wordsmith to teach me how to structure my writing and my thoughts. I learned about publicity and publishing and marketing and online campaigns. I learned about all those things. Now, I will tell you, my father was my hero, right? Now, my father's only child, his birth child. My mom, she raised 7. She was a little more friendly. But my dad, he was my hero. And when I got a publisher and an agent, my dad actually cried. My stepmom told me. And so I called my dad up and I said, "Hey, Dad, I heard you're quite emotional about me getting a publisher and an agent." And he said, "Yeah, I cried." And I said, "Why?" And he goes, "I didn't think you could read, let alone write." And my dad wasn't being insulting or whatever, because I barely graduated high school. I did graduate, but to me it was more of a social event. So I was just having fun, right? And so I had to re-educate myself on all these things. And so, I got back on the horse. I started writing. I wrote every day. Now, I thought the book was going to take me like 3 or 4 months to write. Why? Well, I do over 150 presentations a year. I work in 17 countries around the world. I just figured, say it, write it down, boom, you got a book. Well, really quickly, I found out that the spoken word and the written word aren't actually the same thing. See, as a speaker, you have pausing. You have tonality, you have gestures. As an author, you can't leave a long blank space and say that's your dramatic pause, because your editor goes, "Shh, you're an idiot," right? And I also tried comma, 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 and all these other different things. It didn't work. So I had to figure out is how can I get that same feeling across that I do as a speaker in my book. So like I said, I thought it was going to take me 3 or 4 months to write. It took me 4 years. 4 years of writing every day to get How Would Love Respond out. Then within 4 hours of release, it took number one on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles. I had 15 bestsellers lists. 30 days later, I relaunched it again and hit another 10 bestsellers lists. I have a testimonial in here from Anthony Robbins, Brian Tracy, New York Times bestsellers. Some people raving, saying it's the best personal development book they've ever read. So what did I learn from my experience? And you want to write this down. And that is, the fortune is always in the follow-through. The fortune is always in the follow-through. How many people here have ever read one of those other 2 books that I tried to start writing? No. Why? That's right. Because I never finished them. I quit. Right? And so I want you to really understand the formula here, though. I started out with, I didn't know how to do it, right? I even failed at it twice. To learning how to do it, achieving #1 bestseller status, and now I get paid to teach other people how to write a #1 best-selling book and market it. So I didn't know how to do it. I learned how to do it. I did it. And now I get paid to teach other people how to do it. So my point being is it's all formula. And it's all based in the laws of physics. The one law that we're talking about right now is called the law of cause and effect, which says that every result that you want, every result that's out there, there's some action or series of actions that will produce that result. Does that make sense? So put your goals and dreams into action. Ask yourself, one day, or is it going to be today? Think about it.